What does this illustrate? In reality, most people agree on one thing: the feminine and masculine traits we perceive are not innate. Many are the result of social and environmental conditioning. It is precisely from this conclusion that we can begin to touch upon the core issues of feminism. First, it must be clear that feminism is by no means equivalent to an antagonistic, man-hating extremism, nor is it a black and white stance or label. Genuine feminism does not create gender opposition. As Simone de Beauvoir revealed in The Second Sex, feminism leads us to see the invisible constraints on women and to explore the possibility of escaping these predicaments. In The Second Sex, Beauvoir put forward that often quoted but frequently misunderstood statement: "One is not born, but rather becomes, a woman." This statement does not deny biological differences. Rather, it points out that as a social identity, woman is gradually shaped through long-standing cultural systems, expectations, and evaluations. In Beauvoir's view, the male is taken as the default adult, the standard, considered superior to the female. For example, many common sayings and idioms subtly reinforce this idea. Meanwhile, men need no special qualification. Man simply means human being, while women are always given a prefix: female driver, female leader, female philosopher, strong woman. What does this mean? It means that from the start, women are not understood as the center of their own being, but are defined in relation to men, by what they are relative to men. Furthermore, in work and daily life, we can see objective differences. For instance, when a woman achieves outstanding success in her career, the media often asks, "How do you balance your career and family?" Yet when interviewing men about their achievements, almost no one asks the same question. Beauvoir repeatedly emphasized that women are constantly shaped into what a woman should be. This shaping often appears in gentle, everyday forms, even under the guise of "for your own good," embedded in traditional inertia and social pressure. Women are repeatedly forced, yet made to feel it is voluntary, to abandon their true inner desires. Behind seemingly free choices lie invisible structural constraints. When all choices occur within an unequal structure, freedom becomes an illusory mirage. Some housewives voluntarily take on the vast majority of housework and childcare. But is this truly voluntary? We do not rule out that some women genuinely enjoy these tasks, but many others do so because they have been taught since childhood that a good woman should act this way, and that not doing so is selfish. They can only actively conform and tolerate unfair relationships because they know clearly that nonconformity comes at a much higher cost. This is not an individual moral failing but a structural predicament. When disobedience means being ostracized, punished, or isolated, freedom itself becomes expensive. True freedom for women is not having to temper their sharp edges because of gender, nor suppress their desires because of social norms. Within a reality full of rigid structures, nonconformity, staying true to one's heart, actively choosing, and bravely bearing the consequences, is like the spirit expressed in YSL's Libra. Nonconformity is freedom. Its top notes are sharp, bold, and assertive floral scents, no sweet seduction or gentle flattery, but an aura with edge and just the right amount of sharpness. It resembles the courage to break free from external constraints, unafraid of biased gazes, uncompromising toward vulgar conventions, and calmly releasing one's own strength and uniqueness. As the fragrance slowly settles, the warm, firm woody bass notes emerge, a determination rooted deep within. This is precisely like a woman who, after breaking free from external impositions, must also resist the internal pull toward self-doubt, always listening to her heart, maintaining mental clarity and steady steps, bearing the consequences of her choices, and forging herself through forward movement. Feminism is a serious philosophical inquiry into how a person becomes a subject. Women have long been placed in the position of the other, expected to be gentle, self-sacrificing, self-restraining, and to place the meaning of life in serving others' needs rather than their own will. Therefore, What Beauvoir truly fought for was the possibility of women existing as subjects. The gentler the rhetoric, the more vigilant we must be. When obedience is described as nature, and concession is packaged as happiness, oppression no longer appears as violence but operates quietly through internalization. Beauvoir's feminism still offers us much inspiration today. She reminds us to be wary of constraints disguised as nature, tradition, or for your own good. She also teaches us to distinguish between false freedom and true freedom. True freedom is being able to listen to one's inner voice, bravely choose the life one wants, and have the courage to bear all the consequences of that choice. Beauvoir did not prescribe a single correct path for women. She opposed any new norm replacing old ones. She insisted on only one bottom line: women should not become accessories or supporting roles in someone else's life. Like the transition of YSL Libre from sharp to warm notes, women's strength is never a single form. It can both confront external constraints with sharpness and resist internal wavering with determination. Through continuous choices and accountability, women can break free from a conditioned destiny and become true architects of themselves. Because the essence of freedom has always been this: stay true to your heart and be true to yourself.